everybody, this is Jeannie from aplaceformycards.blogspot.com, and this is the card we're going to be making today. It's a monogram butterfly card, and on the inside I added happy birthday, but you could add any sentiment you want, and I'm going to show you what all you need to make this card. You're going to need 3D dots. I use the Zotz dots. You'll need a tape gun of some kind. You'll need chalk and this little makeup. You'll need a couple of these little makeup Q-tips. I use quilling glue for all my little pieces. I love the quilling glue. And we'll need the Cri-Kits gel pens. This is the purple Cri-Kits gel pen, and this is the blade housing that it goes in. It has a little magnet and it pops right in place and it replaces your Cri-Kits blade. On my blog, www.aplaceformycard.blogspot.com, I've done a card that explains all this really good that's called Cafe Anniversary, and it has parts 1 and part 2. So if there's something you don't understand, if you'll watch that video, you'll understand it a whole lot more. The cartridges I use Jasmine for the G. I used for the happy birthday, for the inside piece, I used Gypsy Wondering. I used Cindy Lou for the swirls. Once Upon a Princess for the butterfly. And this is the butterfly layer. And I also used Once Upon a Princess for this tag cut right here. Once Upon a Princess has all these tag cuts, and if you use the shift, it has another piece for the tag that complements the tag, and those two pieces go together. I love that tag cut. And I also used Sentimentals for the stamp. But there's also a stamp in Basecamp if you'd like to use that instead. For the circles, I use George, and for the rectangle for this and for this piece, I use George. And the first thing I'm going to do is show you my matte shot of how I lay everything out before I spread everything out to cut it. But it's how I lay everything out and get an idea of how I want the card to look when I get finished. That's the first thing I'm going to show you. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you is on my Gypsy. I use layer 1 and layer 2. When you see the next picture, if it's in blue, that's the layer of what you're looking at on your screen. Right here, you're going to need layer 1 for all your cut pieces, and you're going to need layer 2 for all the pieces that are drawn on. And the next thing I'm going to show you is my layer 1 pieces. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you is my layer 2 pieces, and your layer 2 is everything that is drawn on. And layer 2 is laid out directly upon layer 1 on the mat. And everything that you're going to see in black is all the things you're going to draw on, and everything you see in gray is your layer 1. That way you can place everything you're going to draw exactly on top of everything that you're going to cut out. Okay, when you go to cut this out, I want you to cut out layer 2 first, because layer 2 is everything that's going to be drawn on. You're going to put your mat in, you're going to replace your blade housing first, and put in your pen housing with the color pen you want. And this time I used the purple glitter pen. You draw on a piece of paper first and get your ink started, then put this housing in, and set your, I have to set my pressure on 4 and my speed on the slowest speed when I use the ink pens. Put your mat in and press cut, and it's going to draw everything out. Now when everything stops and it says unload mat, there's a choice that says unload mat or add to the design. You want to choose add to the design, and then once you choose add to design, you're going to click on layer 1. Slide a scrap piece of paper under your blade, under your housing, remove it, and put your blade housing in. Be sure and set all your settings for how you regularly cut your paper, and then you just mash cut and cut as usual, and all your pieces will cut around all your drawings just like you've laid them out on your Gypsy. And when you get through, you're going to take all those pieces apart. Okay, the next thing I did is I took the pink chalk and I colored up my butterfly just like that, and I used pink and purple chalk. I'm going to do all this off camera in just a minute. And I used the purple around all these pieces like this. I just went around the edges of all the pieces. I did it all around this, and I did it around the edge of this, like that. And I'm going to do that off screen, and I'm going to be putting some of the pieces together, and I'll show you how to assemble the card in just a second. Okay, I'm back. I have chalked everything up. I'm going to use my little Cri-Kits gel pen to add a couple little dots to enhance these little cuts some more. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And this is what the inside looks like. And I'm going to add the pop dots to the back of everything, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've added pop dots to the back of this, and I'm making sure that's the... I'm going to pop dot this up like this. And then I've added pop dots to this. Here's my broken air conditioner. And I've added pop dots to this G. Move that over just a little. And there's what your finished card looks like. And that's what the inside looks like. You can find out all the complete information about all the cut pieces on my blog, www.aplaceformycards.blogspot.com. And you can also see some more still pictures, and I'll have the screenshots on my blog too. And to get this blade housing and this pen housing and these wonderful little pens, you can go to www.cri-kits.com. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a blessed and wonderful day.